Gordon Strachan says he would consider signing convicted paedophile Adam Johnson if he shows remorse for his actions.
The former England midfielder was released from prison last week, having served half of a 6-year sentence for sexual activity with a 15-year-old girl.
And, speaking on Sky Sports show The Debate, former Celtic manager Strachan said that he would consider handing Johnson a second chance if he was in management.
Gordon Strachan said he would consider signing Adam Johnson if he was a manager.
Adam Johnson has been released from prison after serving a sentence for child sex abuse.
I would if he's shown genuine remorse, Strachan said. Then I'd say, right, let's get on with it.
I would, because I go back to what I believe in, that everybody deserves a second chance, and he's done his bit.
People will think he's done his 3 years, but this is for life. People will say that's that guy.
Strachan's last job was as Scotland manager, which he left in 2017. His most recent job in club management was at Middlesbrough in 2010.
Johnson remains on license and, as part of his release conditions, he will no longer be permitted to spend time alone with his daughter.
Johnson is facing an uphill battle to try to resurrect his football career, after all of the Football League clubs in the area of his home in the Northeast told Sportsmail they would not contemplate signing him.
One chief executive said he could not envisage any Football League club offering the 31-year-old a way back into the game given the nature of his conviction and the backlash it would cause.
Johnson, pictured while on trial in 2016, was released from prison last week.
Clubs near Johnson's Northeast home told Sportsmail they will not consider signing him.
The ex-Manchester City and Sunderland winger said during a leaked video from his time in prison that he had more hope of reviving his playing career abroad, and the likes of the Chinese Super League have been mooted.
However, Sportsmail understands that players moving to China have been subject to thorough criminal records checks and have had to declare any convictions.
The same is true of America, Australia, and some Middle East countries such as Saudi Arabia, meaning Johnson's opportunities are limited.
Hebei China Fortune, the club managed by Chris Coleman, said they would not consider signing Johnson because of his criminal record.
He has not been issued with a criminal tag but will be subject to strict license conditions, including keeping in touch with his supervisor and living permanently at his address.
Johnson could have difficulty playing abroad because of his criminal record.
He will only be allowed to take up work if his supervisor approves it, and police will examine any overseas travel plans before he is allowed to leave the UK.
Johnson will also have more stringent conditions under the terms of the Sex Offenders Register, which he will sign for at least 15 years.
As well as not being permitted to see his daughter or other children unsupervised, he will have to hand over his bank card in order to prevent him accessing paid-for-porn websites.